We booked a mountain vacation, not knowing that a hurricane was going to come and destroy the little town that we're supposed to be going to, and we cannot be refunded.
This video was uploaded by a TikToker by the name of Stay Salty. And this happened right after Hurricane Helene had devastated Florida. This video, it's literally just a woman complaining about her vacation being canceled and not getting her refund right away. A lot of people were really upset.
There is no office in Hendersonville.
No, I normally give you more grace, but my dad is currently trapped in Hendersonville.
I've had this reservation for 6 months, and now I can't find any parking, and I can't even get a response from the seller. What are you gonna do about it? I think I found the seller. Hello? Hello?
Seriously? And you're from North Carolina? People are dead.
Well, it's been brought to my attention that my last post about canceling our mountain vacation has struck a few nerves.
By a lot of people, presumably a lot of victims of said disaster.
I strictly made a post about booking the vacation, canceling the vacation, and wanting to be refunded for the vacation because the natural disaster struck. Am I aware that people have lost their lives? Absolutely. Am I aware that roads are washed away, there's no gas, there's barely food, there's a lot of devastation, and that people are still looking for friends and family members? Absolutely. Does that break my heart? It sure does.
Almost sounded like she was blaming this company, ruining her vacation.
We booked a mountain vacation, not knowing that a hurricane was going to come and destroy the little town that we're supposed to be going to. And
Nobody did. They didn't know that. Nobody could prepare for what came.
Assume that if you're getting a very angry comment from anybody, especially in regards to something such as a natural disaster, assume that the person that's angry and upset with you has probably become a victim of said thing, and they're probably not doing very well.
She says that she lives in a coastal town. She experiences hurricanes annually.
I live in a coastal town. We deal with hurricanes yearly.
But this one just happened.
And she uploaded this video the day the hurricane dissipated. It wasn't even just what she said and how she said what she said in the video. It was also the hashtags she used for that video in the description. Still going, washed out, devastated. These hashtags look a lot different when you put them up against these images. Washed out, devastated, still going.
And then she also used hashtags like do what you love.
Really?
What's that? Like complain online about not being refunded? Putting pressure on associates? Like at my old job, I used to give refunds. It's an entirely different company that controls the system itself. I would just hit a few keys, enter, and the refund would begin to process. If there were any issues, I'd have to contact support for them. I couldn't do anything because I don't actually own the system itself and operate it.
They're telling me that they have to first get in touch with the owner before they can make any executive decisions. Oh, I'm sorry. Isn't that what the owner pays you for?
No. No.
Not to make matters worse, how do we know that the owner doesn't live in the area and isn't stranded themselves? How do we know that the owner doesn't live out of state and doesn't even know what's going on?
Well, if they're stranded themselves, you're probably not getting your refund then. Like, they'd probably be calling for help. You wouldn't be getting it any faster than you would have without them being stranded.
I expect some sort of accommodation, some sort of communication, some sort of understanding.
Like, it'd be one thing if she'd, like, had to wait, like, months or something. Like, that would be pretty stressful, you know, waiting that long to get your money back. And that was a big sum of money. She was clearly worked up over this deadline.
So I have 5 days to cancel this reservation and only get a partial refund. A partial refund after a $2,500 trip for a week with my family of 6.
Hey, I'm trying to cancel. I can't get my money back.
We are still expected to go on this trip.
That doesn't mean you're still expected to go out to said site. The devastation of Helene. Like, that is, like, so unsafe.
As many as 600 people are still on the missing list as search teams fan out across the state, navigating the worst flooding to hit the region in a century, with thousands of downed trees, power and mobile outages, and hundreds of closed roads.
There's some areas they're not allowing people that aren't local.
Cancel all reservations and refund your people.
They also have to make sure they don't refund the wrong people who weren't affected, who did get to go on their vacations. This is a whole thing. It might be a manual process.
She needed to take a breath and just trust the process.
9 out of 10 times, your people aren't going to want to come to where a natural disaster hit unless they're documenting the natural disaster. Thoughts, comments, what should I do? Let's pray this works out.
9 out of 10 people don't want to go to where a natural disaster is struck. And the tiny percentage of people that are documenting it because it's important to talk about. People that are going are likely trying to find their loved ones. They're not there to soak up the sun.
Not knowing if there's damage to the property.
As somebody who lives in Western North Carolina, Buncombe County to be specific, we're not expecting you to continue on your vacation here. No. If you're coming here, we expect you to help. There are literal towns that were just washed away. Thank you to everybody who has sent supplies and come to help. We appreciate it so much.
Even knowing the risks, people are still trying to get out there to help their loved ones. There's a lot of stress on the airlines. You have to keep in mind the money that's going to feeding these families without homes now, trying to keep them comfortable. The medical supplies. You have to consider debris. It's oil. If the water's contaminated, if something's been damaged in the water, salt in the water, like the water's not even drinkable. Like it's dangerous. Landslides.
These are the more than 600 Helene landslides they've mapped out so far.
The safety of search and rescue.
Search and rescue operations were conducted to help people that were in distress and transport them to safety. And now it's still early. They're going to have those folks who were responding to those calls. They're going to be doing broader search and rescue in those areas that did get hit with significant storm surge and see if there's any other problems or if there's any folks that are still left behind.
People that have died in search and rescue, trying to rescue people. That's especially something that people don't think about because these people are prepared, right? We've already lost people. Salty got more backlash. She uploaded this video of her on a boat. This was posted right after the backlash of the last video. Do what you love. Go where you want. Spend it with people you care about. Life changes in the matter of seconds. Now, through one pair of lens, it seems like a positive message, a very impactful one at that. You know, like, stop and smell the roses. So why would a video with such an inspirational quote have such backlash on it? Well, it's because of the hashtags that she used. The hashtags on this video, it frustrated a lot of people as well because she used hashtags like one life, thankful, and adventure. You know, she decided to share this right after she had received such a negative response. See, there's nothing wrong with these hashtags. Like, they're not bad. Except a lot of people saw this message as, I'm thankful I still had my adventure, and I'm still alive. People didn't see it as her trying to spread a positive message. They saw it as more of a tactic to retract from the heat, because it didn't seem like she was actually sorry at all. It seemed like she was just trying to look good by, well, see, I care, because here's a positive message. But she's on a boat. A lot of people were upset, so she turned the comments off of this video as well. A lot of people were like, well, I'd want my refund too. And like, there's nothing wrong with wanting a refund. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the way she went about it and the timing.
Helene devastated several states in the southeast, and many are still struggling to recover.
Look at the heavy sludge, the mud. A lot of small businesses, they're going in to assess the damage, but we know that most of them are completely destroyed. We're told that this may not just take weeks, but years for people to rebuild.
Just really horrifying. It's sad because there's still people there that are really hard to get to and physically get out. And it is hard for any emergency personnel to get in.
We had gotten the cat bags ready, and you know, that's all we were worried about at the moment, is saving our animals. And we were looking around at things, and that's when I really realized that none of what we own matters right now, and our lives, their lives, our cats' lives,
That's all we have. PTSD is kicking in.
I know that my Airbnb refund video came off in all the wrong directions, and I had no idea that it was even going to take off, in all honesty. It doesn't matter at all. I am absolutely concerned with everybody in all of these states that are still suffering. I was only making a video because I was frustrated with Airbnb and the realty company that's remote, that's not even located in this area. That's where my frustration was coming from, because when you deal with a property management company, they should be able to pull all of the strings to refund everybody's money back, especially when a natural disaster hit, and hit as hard as it did. There wasn't a reason for anybody to come at me as much or as hard as they did, because disagreeing with somebody on the internet of what they post and then degrading the person for how they look, how their family looks, where they live, their taste in clothing, etc., is completely unacceptable.
When you say something that hurts someone's feelings, most of the time they react, right? People just lost loved ones, like, they're gonna react. They're not doing okay. Never post anything when you're feeling angry, because that's what she did with this refund video. She posted when she was frustrated. She said, I was on the phone for an hour.
I have spent the last hour this morning on the phone, and all they can tell me is, we understand your concern. Do you?
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
That "do you" was such a slap in the face to that company and those associates that were just trying to explain to her how it worked. If they could just give you the refund, they'd have done it. They don't want to be on the phone with you for an hour either. These people are put under a lot of stress to talk to you. Do you know how many people are probably calling them? People that are directly impacted, who went on vacation and then almost died, and then are like, hey, actually, this wasn't such a cozy experience, and want their money back. Never react when you're emotional, because it clouds your judgment and you can't see the bigger picture. She apologized, but a lot of people weren't happy with the apology. They didn't think it was genuine, because she started sharing photos of the disaster after she got called out. And people just saw it as a tactic, retract from the heat.
I can understand being upset over the situation, but the absolute last thing that you should have done was run to TikTok about it. Not only that, but when you were called out, you doubled down and mocked people for being upset over what you said.
My last post about canceling our mountain vacation has struck a few nerves, okay?
I just couldn't imagine hating me or being mad at me because, number one, I don't give a
Thank you so much for making me aware of this mess right here, because I don't know who this is. I don't know why they would want to be me, because most people just talk about me and then they create a fake account to try to be me, but that's fine. I guess that's how you know you've made it in life.
Read the room.
She worked hard to get that money, and of course she can have it back. But understand, when a natural disaster has just occurred, you're probably not gonna get it right away. You're gonna have to wait. Like, I'd probably want my refund too, if I worked that hard to save up for a trip I couldn't take. People are lucky to be able to afford a place to stay, let alone a vacation. Then again, I'd probably donate a big chunk of it, or, you know, all of it. You know, considering the place I'd be going to would be, in this case, destroyed. The money was designated for a good time. I guess I'm not gonna have that good time now. People don't even have drinkable water or food. And I'm sure that receiving a donation would probably make them feel a lot safer. This one user did like a parody take of, hey, yeah, so it's me, the owner. You know, I'm still alive by this campfire. There's already parodies and stuff happening. Now, Salty was annoyed about this parody.
Banjo Brian, who duetted that video, is not the Airbnb owner. We weren't going to Asheville, we were going to Hendersonville, and he did it because he saw an opportunity to make bank off of it, okay? Props to him for creativity. I mean, that's what creators do, right? They see an opportunity and they run with it. So that's what he did. It was all pretty much for him to monetize and kind of like a joke.
It was to make you realize this is the situation that owner could have been in. to be more considerate of others. That was the point. When there's been a natural disaster, you don't want to be salty. You want to be sympathetic to those around you. And she seems to have adopted this term as like a motto through life, just be yourself. But you have to be careful doing that.
And I really went viral. I really stepped on some toes, really hit some nerves. Jesus, if you have an opinion in today's world.
It's not people being snowflakes, it's people grieving. Salty was also getting a lot of messages saying her home should be washed away, she deserves to be or to off herself. Don't be sending anyone these kinds of messages. It's really terrible. The last thing I want to address is Salty posted this video. Hey, we should be like blowing this up. Blowing up the wrong video. And there's this woman who's like absolutely freaking crazy. People can be upset about your video and the other one. In fact, a lot of people actually reacted to both. I just wanted to say before I end this video, this is actually an art trade I did with someone, Stardust Kiro. They're over on DeviantArt. They're a really awesome artist. I did this piece a while back. They actually drew my character Wild, an OC from like my childhood. So that was really cool. I got to draw their OC with Sonic. So definitely go and check them out. Thank you for watching.